Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. My name is Melinda. This is my gorgeous husband, Adine. Together we are Hustlin' Hooks here and over on Instagram. If you don't follow us there, if you don't already, follow us over there. We're
silly.
quick to respond, and we're doing something a little bit different this time. Instead of doing a what sold this weekend, we're actually going to go over some numbers from the whole month of October. Stick around. We'll see what that looks like.
Hustlin' Hooks, numbers, October, breakdown, spectacular. Let's jump right in. October was a good month for us overall, I think. It had some good parts to it. It had some not so great parts to it. So we're just going to go through it line by line. We're going to talk about our gross, net, dollar per sale, net dollar per sale, average number of listings, and what we actually get to put in our pockets after selling all of it. So we'll start with the number of sales. Before we jump into all these numbers, remember we've been reselling now for 14 months. We've started with zero experience, basically zero knowledge, and just jumped right into it and just started learning. So just keep that in mind as we go through these numbers.
Yeah, so our total number of sales for the month of October was 256. To date, that is the most items that we've sold in a month, and it's 30 items more than any month we've previously done.
That's right. With that 256 sales, we are gross. So gross just meaning the dollar amount that we were paid minus shipping. We don't include shipping in our gross because it would just balloon it for no reason. Mm-hmm. So our gross was $9,437, which was the fifth best of our young career, or the fifth best. And our record for that is 11,400. That was the best gross we've ever done, was 11,400. So with 9,437, we netted $6,224, which is the amount of money that we are now subject to pay taxes on, minus certain expenses like car miles driven, and whatever else your CPA or our CPA tells us we can deduct from that. So
right.
9,400 gross, 6,200 net, which are probably the most important numbers out of all of this.
Right, and we don't, like Adine said, we don't include the shipping in our gross numbers. So then our net would be minus fees and cost of goods that we had.
Yep.
So our total net profit on items this month, average, was $24.31. So for every item we sold, we averaged $24.31 in profit. So that's a little bit lower than we like to be at. We strive to get up to the $30 plus net, but we're just going to keep pushing. It just means we didn't have some bigger sales to sort of cancel out the more bread and butter sales that are closer to that number.
Yeah, if you look in August we did $34.81 net dollars per sale, but like right at the end of August we had a $600 and like a $400 sale, and that just helps your average, go up quite a bit. So $24.31, not great, but again, that's pretty darn good in our opinion. Mm-hmm. And then the last number, or the last metric that we measure, is the average listing. So each day when we enter our journal entries, we look at how many active listings we have, and it gives us an idea of if we are meeting our goal, which is roughly 1% of our inventory should sell every single day. So in this case, we had an average listing throughout the month of 843 active listings. Now keep that in mind, especially if you're newer. That's a lot of listings, right? So with 843 listings, we average 8.3 sales per day, which is pretty much spot on 1%, right? So that's something you need to keep in mind.
Yeah, so obviously it took us a while to build up to that number. So if you're at a lower amount, it's a good idea to track these numbers to see if you are at least at that 1%, because then you can keep track as you're scaling and making sure you're staying at that 1%. So if you have 500 and selling 5, you're on track that when you add another 100, and you get to 600, you're selling an average of 6. So that's why we like to track that number. It just keeps us on pace and checks us. It's a checks and balance system.
Yeah, and you have to keep in mind it's an average. If you follow anyone on social media that talks about their reselling journey, they're going to have their high days and their low days. So for example, October 9th, we sold 10 items. October 10th, 6 items. The next day, 9 items. On the 12th, we only sold 3 items. But then on the 13th and 14th, we sold 10 and then 12 items, right? So that it's just an average. You have to keep that in perspective. On our Instagram page, if you go back a couple of months, I posted a average sales versus average number of listings. You can see our buildup from starting at 0 and where we're at currently, or it's about a month or 2 old, but you can see that 1% is true. So like Melinda says, if you're just starting out, don't expect to be selling 20 items a day if you only have 100 listings active, unless you underprice the market on something that's extremely hot, like a Nintendo Switch. If someone's selling it as for 500 and you have stock and you're selling it at 475, you should sell out every single day. And then of course these numbers don't matter in that business model.
If you guys have been following us for a while, you know that our business model is a small but expensive store. So like Adin's saying, if you have a certain product that's just super hot and you're underpricing it, it should be selling out. We just aim to have quality items that have a 40% or higher sell-through rate, and that sell for, I mean, they can sell for anything as long as it meets our net profit after sale and fees and taxes. So keep that in mind when you're building your business, especially if you're just getting started. Think about the end goal of what you want your store to look like. How many things do you want to sell to make what you need to make in a month or a weekend or a day?
That's true. And also keep in mind, in our business model, we are primarily thrift store, garage sale, estate sale, Facebook marketplace, secondhand. We do almost no retail arbitrage, meaning buying goods new in box and marking them up online. We don't do any of that. In fact, in October, we sold 0 items in that category. So that's part of the business model too, is where you're getting your inventory. So hopefully you can relate to that if you're doing a similar thing. So I think that'll wrap it up. If this helped you get an understanding of how these numbers really work, we would appreciate it if you give us a thumbs up. That helps this video and also helps us grow our small channel. We appreciate everyone that tuned in. Thank you very much, and we'll see you in the next one.